Have you ever hesitated when you walked past a can of sardines at the grocery store? Maybe you glanced at it, shrugged, and kept going, thinking it was just cheap, salty food from another generation. Maybe you've even wondered, is this stuff really good for me, or is it just full of sodium and heavy metals like people say? Well, what if I told you that canned sardines, yes, that humble little tin, might actually help protect your heart, strengthen your bones, support your memory, and even help regulate your blood sugar? Sounds hard to believe, right? But stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly whether sardines deserve a spot in your weekly meals based on the latest medical evidence. Let's start with the heart, because if you're over 60, chances are heart health is already on your radar. One of the most powerful nutrients for your heart is omega-3 fatty acids. Specifically, are a big deal. Harvard Health Publishing reported that people who eat fish rich in omega-3s 2 to 3 times a week can reduce their risk of stroke by up to 36%. That's not a small number. Omega-3s help calm inflammation in your blood vessels, reduce plaque buildup, and keep your heart rhythm steady. For seniors, that means fewer hospital visits, fewer pills, and more peace of mind. And unlike fish oil pills, which may or may not be absorbed well, omega-3s in whole food like sardines come naturally combined with supporting nutrients like calcium, potassium, and magnesium. It's a team effort, and your heart is the winner. So how should you use sardines to protect your heart? Simple, just eat one small can, around 85100 grams, 2 or 3 times a week. That's it. You don't need to fry it, drown it in mayonnaise, or turn it into some gourmet creation. You can put it on toast, mix it into a salad, or just eat it with a fork and some lemon juice. What matters is the consistency. Your heart responds to routine, not to one-time efforts. And sardines make that routine affordable, simple, and delicious if you give them a fair shot. Now, let's talk bones. Most people associate calcium with milk, but here's the surprise: a can of sardines gives you roughly the same amount of calcium as a full glass of milk, around 300 milligrams. That's not all. Sardines also contain natural vitamin D, which your body needs in order to absorb calcium. And if you're over 70, you probably aren't making enough vitamin D from sun exposure alone. That's why fractures, especially hip fractures, are so common in older adults. According to the National Institutes of Health, maintaining proper intake of calcium and vitamin D can reduce the risk of hip fractures by up to 30%. And guess what? Sardines give you both in one bite-sized package. But make sure you're getting the kind with the soft, edible bones still inside. That's where most of the calcium lives. If it creeps you out, remember, the bones are so soft they crumble in your mouth, and you're getting more benefit than most supplements ever deliver. When choosing sardines for bone support, opt for the ones packed in water rather than oil. Water-packed sardines retain more of the minerals, and you can add your own olive oil if you like the flavor. Eat them straight, mash them with avocado or plain yogurt, or sprinkle on some lemon and herbs. However you do it, you're feeding your skeleton the nutrients it craves. Now let's move to the brain. Memory loss and cognitive decline are among the most common fears for people as they age, and rightly so. But one of the lesser-known ways to protect your brain is by ensuring you get enough B12, omega-3s, and choline. These 3 nutrients play key roles in keeping your neurons firing, your memory sharp, and your mood stable. And guess what? Sardines are rich in all 3. Vitamin B12 deficiency is surprisingly common in seniors. It can cause symptoms like confusion, fatigue, and even signs that mimic dementia. According to a study published in the Journal of Nutrition, people who consumed enough B12 and omega-3s showed 15-20 better performance on memory tests compared to those who were deficient. And choline, though less talked about, is crucial for maintaining the structure of brain cells and supporting neurotransmitters like acetylcholine, which is essential for learning and memory. One easy way to boost all 3 nutrients is to pair sardines with leafy greens like spinach or kale, and perhaps a hard-boiled egg. The greens provide folate, The egg gives you more choline, and the sardines round it out with B12 and omega-3s. It's a simple lunch with powerful brain benefits. Now, for something even more surprising, sardines can help with blood sugar control. If you're managing type 2 diabetes or trying to avoid it, you already know how important it is to keep your blood sugar steady after meals. Sardines can help with that. They're naturally low on the glycemic index, meaning they don't spike your blood sugar. They're also high in protein and healthy fat, to things that slow down digestion and help prevent blood sugar spikes. In a study published in Frontiers in Nutrition, people who ate fatty fish regularly had significantly lower HOMA-I scores, a marker of insulin resistance, compared to those who didn't. That's a big deal because insulin resistance is a key driver of type 2 diabetes, and sardines, by helping your body respond better to insulin, can support better blood sugar control over time. Here's how to make it work for you. Try having sardines as part of your lunch or dinner, not as a snack on an empty stomach. Pair them with vegetables like broccoli or cucumbers, or with high-fiber foods like lentils or oatmeal. This combo slows digestion, keeps you fuller longer, and helps prevent those afternoon energy crashes or nighttime cravings. Now, of course, no food is perfect. There are a few things to keep in mind if you're considering making sardines a regular part of your diet. First, sodium. Some canned sardines can contain 300 to 400 milligrams of sodium per can. If you're watching your blood pressure or sodium intake, look for labels that say low sodium, or give the sardines a quick rinse under water before eating. That alone can remove up to 30% of the surface salt. Second, sardines are high in purines, a natural substance found in some protein-rich foods that can raise uric acid levels. If you have gout, you might need to limit sardines to once a week or avoid them altogether during flare-ups. Talk to your doctor before making a change. Third, some people worry about heavy metals or BPA from the cans. The good news is that sardines are small, short-lived fish that don't accumulate mercury the way larger fish like tuna do. In fact, sardines are considered among the safest fish to eat in terms of mercury content. Just check for cans labeled BPA-free to avoid the risk of exposure to that chemical. If you're wondering how to make sardines more enjoyable, here are a few ideas that work well for seniors. Spread sardines on whole grain toast with a little mustard or mashed avocado. Add slices of cucumber or lettuce to make it fresh and crunchy. Or try a simple potato salad with sardines, olive oil, lemon, and parsley. These options are gentle on digestion, heart-healthy, and satisfying without being heavy. One tip: avoid frying sardines or reheating them in too much oil. That can damage the omega-3s and turn a healthy meal into something that clogs arteries instead of clearing them. Stick with light, fresh preparations and you'll enjoy the full. Let's get practical. You already know sardines are rich in omega-3s, calcium, vitamin D, B12, and protein. But what you might not realize is how much they can do for your overall metabolism and inflammation levels, which are deeply connected to many age-related diseases. As we age, chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging, starts to creep in and contribute to arthritis, fatigue, weight gain, and even depression. Foods that fight this inflammation are worth their weight in gold, and sardines are one of the top contenders. One of the standout components in sardines is selenium. Just one can provide a substantial dose of this powerful antioxidant, which plays a major role in defending your body from oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is like rust on the inside, gradually damaging your cells over time. By combining selenium with omega-3s, sardines form a natural anti-inflammatory duo. According to a 2020 review in Antioxidants, diets rich in selenium and marine omega-3s were associated with reduced markers of inflammation in older adults. That means less joint stiffness, better energy, and even lower risk of chronic diseases. What's even more useful? Sardines are high in coenzyme Q10 CoQ10, a nutrient your body uses for energy production in cells. As we age, our natural CoQ10 levels drop, which can lead to muscle weakness and fatigue. Some people spend a fortune buying CoQ10 supplements, but sardines give it to you naturally, in a form your body recognizes. So if you've been feeling low on energy despite getting sleep and eating okay, it might be time to think about food that fuels you on a cellular level, not just calories. Another practical benefit? Satiety. Sardines are incredibly filling. The combination of protein and fat slows down digestion, which helps keep you full longer. That's great news if you're trying to maintain a healthy weight or avoid late-night snacking. Instead of reaching for crackers or sweets at p.m., a small plate of sardines with cucumber slices can hold you until morning without spiking your blood sugar or messing with your sleep. Still not convinced? Let's talk about gut health, which has become a hot topic in recent years. More and more studies are showing that your gut plays a central role in your immune system, brain health, and even mood. One of the easiest ways to improve gut health is by feeding it anti-inflammatory fats and easily digestible protein. Sardines offer both, and because they're a whole food, not a processed one, they come with enzymes and cofactors that help your body digest them more efficiently. Now, here's something you might appreciate. Sardines don't require cooking. No prep, no chopping, no pan to wash. For older adults who live alone or just don't feel like cooking a full meal, that's a real win. You can open a can and have a complete, balanced, protein-rich meal in 60 seconds. Add a boiled potato or a few slices of tomato, and you're set. Even if you're on a fixed income or limited by time or mobility, sardines make eating well possible. Let's also address something sensitive: taste and smell. Some people say they don't like sardines because of the strong fishy smell. That's fair, taste is personal, but there are tricks to make sardines more approachable. First, try varieties packed in tomato sauce or olive oil. They tend to be milder in taste and smell. Second, rinse them gently under water before serving. This reduces both salt and strong aromas. Third, mix them into other foods: mashed into avocado, stirred into rice or pasta, or blended into a spread with Greek yogurt and lemon juice. It's not about eating sardines straight from the can unless you like that. It's about making them work for you. Another trick: make them part of a meal ritual you enjoy. Maybe sardines become your go-to lunch on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or your protein booster for a Saturday salad. Create routine, not pressure. The more consistently you eat them, the more your body will benefit and the more your taste buds will adjust. Now, let's say you're still concerned about the sodium. That's wise. Too much sodium can raise blood pressure, and that's not something to take lightly. But here's what you can do. Look for cans labeled low sodium or no salt added. These are increasingly available at regular grocery stores. Or rinse your sardines under warm water for 5–10 seconds. This can reduce surface sodium by up to 30%. Just that one habit can make a big difference without sacrificing the health benefits. If you're worried about gout or high uric acid, it's smart to limit sardines to once a week and always check with your doctor. But keep in mind, this is a concern for a specific group of people. For the majority of older adults, sardines are not only safe, but deeply beneficial, and they're certainly safer than many processed meats or frozen dinners that hide loads of salt, sugar, and chemicals. Here's one more reason to consider adding sardines to your regular grocery list: sustainability. These little fish are one of the most eco-friendly sources of animal protein on the planet. They reproduce quickly, don't require feedlots or antibiotics, and their harvest tends to have a lower environmental footprint compared to tuna, beef, or even chicken. If you care about the planet your grandchildren will inherit, choosing sardines over heavily industrialized meat products is a quiet but powerful vote for a healthier food system. So let's recap. Sardines help your heart, bones, brain, blood sugar, and even your energy and digestion. They're affordable, shelf-stable, and take no time to prepare. Are they glamorous? No, but they work. And at this stage in life, we're not chasing trends, we're building habits that keep us independent, strong, and mentally sharp. Still not ready to commit? Just try it once. Buy a single can. Open it when you're feeling brave or curious. Put it on a plate with a slice of lemon. Taste it with an open mind. You don't have to love it. You just have to give it a fair shot. Your body will know what to do with the nutrients whether your taste buds catch up today or next month. And if you're already a sardine lover, great! Share this with someone who might benefit. Sometimes all it takes is one nudge from a friend to open up a whole new chapter in someone's health story. By now, you've heard a lot about why sardines matter, especially for people over 60. You've learned about their role in protecting the heart, strengthening bones, sharpening memory, and helping to balance blood sugar. And maybe, just maybe, you're starting to think differently about that little can sitting quietly at the back of the grocery shelf. But before you rush out and buy a dozen tins, let's pause for a moment and talk about how to make this habit last. Because here's the truth, even the healthiest food doesn't do much good if it stays in the pantry unopened. A long life isn't just about knowing what's good for you, it's about making small changes stick. And the good news? Sardines are a habit that's surprisingly easy to adopt once you break through the initial hesitation. One of the best ways to make sardines a part of your weekly rhythm is to tie them to a meal you already enjoy. Let's say you usually have a light lunch around noon. Try swapping in sardines 1 or 2 days a week in place of your usual sandwich or soup. Add them to a piece of rye toast with sliced tomato and cracked pepper. Or mash them with avocado and a touch of lemon for a nutrient-dense spread. The idea isn't to overhaul your diet, it's to make small substitutions that build momentum. If dinner is your main meal, sardines can work beautifully there too. A warm potato salad with green beans, olive oil, parsley, and sardines makes for a hearty but gentle dish. Or try them tossed into whole grain pasta with garlic and steamed kale. These combinations are rich in fiber, heart-healthy, and friendly to the digestive system, a win for older adults who may be more sensitive to heavy meals. Now, let's talk convenience. One of the biggest benefits of sardines, especially for seniors living alone or on a fixed income, is that they don't require refrigeration, preparation, or cleanup. They're ready when you are. Whether you're traveling, not feeling up to cooking, or just want a quick meal that doesn't compromise your health, sardines are there for you. It's hard to overstate the power of that kind of food freedom. And when your energy or appetite is low, having something easy and nourishing on hand makes all the difference. Still unsure which type to buy? That's okay. Most grocery stores offer sardines packed in a few different ways: olive oil, soybean oil, water, or tomato sauce. If you're trying to manage calories, choose water-packed. If you want extra flavor, tomato sauce or olive oil varieties work well, but read the label for sodium content. Look for brands labeled wild-caught, BPA-free, or low sodium. They're generally higher quality, but you don't need to spend more than 2-3 per can to get excellent nutrition. Keep a few cans stocked in your pantry, you never know when they'll come in handy. And what about family members or caretakers who aren't sure if sardines are safe or too strong for older adults? Point them to the science. Studies show that for most seniors, sardines are not only safe but protective. They're lower in mercury than tuna, gentler on digestion than red meat, and richer in essential nutrients than most frozen or processed meals. They support independence because they don't require cooking, and they help prevent the very conditions that often lead to dependency, like broken bones, cognitive decline, or blood sugar crashes. Some people worry that switching to sardines or any new food might be delayed at their age. That's simply not true. The human body is remarkably responsive even after 60, 70, or 80 years. In fact, older adults often notice bigger improvements faster than younger people, especially when they start eating for function, not just for flavor. One study found that seniors who made even small dietary changes like adding more oily fish reported increased energy, improved focus, and fewer afternoon crashes within just 3 weeks. So don't underestimate the ripple effect that one food can create. You start with 1 can of sardines a week. Then maybe you drink more water because you're eating saltier foods. Maybe you cut back on red meat 1 night a week without even meaning to. Maybe you notice your skin looks better, your joints feel less stiff, or your energy lasts longer during the day. These are not coincidences. They are the natural result of giving your body real, functional nutrition. If you're someone who's already managing medications, you might be wondering, will sardines interfere? In most cases, no, sardines are food, not pills. But because they're nutrient-dense, it's always smart to mention dietary changes to your doctor, especially if you're on blood pressure medication or a restricted renal diet. Still, compared to supplements or specialty foods, sardines are refreshingly low risk and highly effective. And remember, sardines aren't meant to be eaten every single day unless you really enjoy them. 2 to 3 times a week is plenty to see the benefits. If you're concerned about variety or flavor fatigue, rotate them with other oily fish like mackerel or salmon. But sardines remain the most cost-effective, low-mercury, no-fuss choice for most seniors. Let me leave you with this: in a world full of complicated nutrition advice, sardines are beautifully simple. No marketing gimmicks, no magic powders, just whole food that works, backed by science, respected by doctors, and embraced by people who want to age well. They won't reverse time, but they will help you make the most of it. So next time you're in the store, take another look at that dusty shelf with the little metal tins. Instead of walking past, pick one up. Not because it's trendy or nostalgic, but because it just might be the smartest thing you do for your health this week. If you found this information helpful, share it with a friend, a sibling, or someone you care about who's also navigating the challenges of aging. And if you're already a sardine convert, tell us how you like to eat them. Your experience might inspire someone else to take the first step. In the end, that's what real health looks like. Not fear, not restriction, but knowledge, small changes, and a bit of courage to try something new.